let's put now the spotlight on the Pan-European Pride event, Europride, that is set to be hosted by Belgrade for a week of LGBTQ plus celebrations. The first time the event is set to be hosted in Southeast Europe, but the day before the event kicked off, thousands of protesters took to the streets carrying huge Serbian and Russian flags, chanting pro-Russia and anti-LGBTQ slogans, marching through the capital. And filmmaker and LGBT activist Yuval David is joining us now from Washington, D.C. Hello, Yuval. Great to see you as always. So organizers...
Thank you for having me on the show.
Thank you for coming on the show, as always. Organizers of the Europride said that they will ignore the police ban and hold the festivities no matter what. But is making a statement here too risky in terms of public safety?
Making a statement is risky, but making a statement is necessary. That's why these pride parades truly are pride marches. They are demonstrations. That's how they started. They started with chants of my forefathers and foremothers of the LGBTQ movement who said, we're here, we're queer, get used to it.
Yeah.
We need to march out on the streets. We need to fight back, to stand up and be upstanders and not just bystanders when people talk about our rights and our abilities to exist as we are. That's why it's so important that the LGBTQ activists are saying, you know what, we're not listening to you canceling us or canceling our march. We are still going to carry on and march forward.
So to that point exactly, European Pride organizers chose Serbia's capital 3 years ago already to host the annual event, hoping it would represent a major breakthrough for a Slavic country that is traditionally very conservative and under strong influence from the Orthodox Church. But do you think it's the right call, so to speak, to insist on quote-unquote challenging locations?
If we do not challenge the locations, if we do not challenge the governments and the churches and the religious institutions, how are we going to expect change? Without challenge, there is no change. The vast majority of anti-LGBTQ legislation, laws, regulations, and opinions are on the basis of religion. So when religion is going to stand up against us, we can stand up not necessarily against religion, but as a way to educate and inform religion. Because whether the Orthodox Church you mentioned likes it or not, we are part of their community. The LGBTQ community is the most diverse community in the world because we are part of every other community in the world. So when the church officials stand up and make an official church position, we can stand up as the official congregants position.
And speaking of pressure or mechanisms to apply pressure, Serbia is currently amidst a very clear boost to join the EU. Maybe the pressure should be applied on Brussels to draw a line in the sand on these topics as a go, no-go criteria relevant not just to Serbia, but many other European nations.
I mean, based on what you just said, I will vote for you. I hope you're running for office because that's exactly what we need.
You're the only one.
To put that. Well, then I'll be your loudest
we need to start
fan and supporter.
Yeah.
I will campaign for you. But that's the point. We need to put the responsibility on elected officials, on government officials, because we're in a day and age where every country is supposed to and expected to have an opinion on the policies of other government leaders. So we need to say to our own elected officials in Israel, in the United States, in the UK, wherever we might be, we need to say, this is happening to our LGBTQ community. You need to say something about it. And you know what? If Serbia won't accept it, we also need to remind them the power of money. The amount of money that gets poured in to these pride marches is astronomical. Businesses get money, hotel industry, events. So many things happen when you get all of these LGBTQ people gathering together. From a financial perspective, it's to the benefit of these countries. But if they're choosing anti-LGBTQ laws and sentiments over the benefit of the country, says a lot about the country.
Yes, we need to bear in mind, constantly remind ourselves that when we're united, we the people have the power. Filmmaker and LGBT activist Yuval David joining us from Washington, D.C. As always, thank you so very much for your clear-cut insight. Thank you.